Good morning, baseball fans, and welcome back to Dan's Vintage Baseball PC. Don't be fooled by the fancy name. It's just me and some baseball cards. And as you can see from behind me, some of those holders are empty because I'm taking down some of my display cards to do a video on my top 10 New York Yankees cards. The rules for this video are that, one, the top 10 will not have two or more of the same player. So there's only one mantle. There could be more, but there's only one mantle. There's only one Yogi Berra. And the other rule is that it's not based on value necessarily, although that's kind of the way it came out. It's based upon aesthetics, what the cards mean to me, and what the cards mean, I think, importantly, in the hobby. So I started off with a honorable mentions. So here's the 5 honorable mentions that I picked out. First one is upper left corner is New York Yankees legend Frank Crosetti. Only this is not a Yankees card. It's a card for when he played for the San Francisco Seals in the Pacific Coast League. He played 4 years there. This is the 1931 Z-Nut, the only Z-Nut card in my collection. And this is Crosetti's last year with San Francisco. He joined the Yankees in 1932. Crosetti played 17 seasons with the Yankees, won 8 World Series as a player, and then he coached the Yankees for 20 years after that, won 9 World Series as a coach. So Frank Crosetti had 17 World Series rings and was in a Yankees uniform for 37 seasons. And this is a wonderful card from a rare issue, and it will never leave the PC. To the right of that is a 1952 Gil McDougall, a card that isn't necessarily worth that much. In fact, it's probably the least valuable card on this list, but Gil McDougall is an underappreciated Yankee who appeared, I believe, in 6 or 7 World Series in a short career that spanned most of the 1950s. This card, of course, in 1952, a set that I'm building, beautiful Bowman set, and it has the puffy clouds and the blue sky and the fence and the Yankee uniform. I think it's a terrific card, so I included that as an honorable mention. To the right is Johnny Mize. You've seen this card in my Johnny Mize video. Just wanted to point out that it's his last playing dates card on the Topps issue. And Johnny Mize, as you can see, the big burly guy with the Yankees hat on and the Yankees logo. I just think it's a nice Yankees card, and it's an SGC 5. So I think it's a nice representation of the Yankees in my Mize collection. The bottom 2 cards are both fairly obscure players at this point, although they were legitimate players. Wally Shang is a catcher on the left. Carl Mays is the pitcher on the right. They both played for the Yankees through the 1920s. Wally Shang had an extensive career. I believe he played like 17 seasons. Borderline Hall of Famer, not really, but this card is it's from the W501 series, which took the photographs of the U.S. Caramel and I'm not the Caramel. I'm sorry. They took the American Caramel. And there's blank backs on these. They both have blank backs. that's the back. So the great thing about these is the pop counts. I went and checked SGC pop counts. This is the highest graded version of the Shang card. There are only 2 graded by SGC, and this is the higher grade. PSA has only graded 2 of these. So we're in a pop under 10 for Shang. With Mays, as you can see, it's a 4, also a pop 2, but I think there's another one higher than this. And then Mays only has 1 graded in it, PSA. So again, like under 5 pop counts on these 2 W501s. I bought them actually in the same auction. I believe it's Sterling auction like 6 months ago. So those are the honorable mentions. I'm not going to spoil the suspense and show you the full picture of the top 10 until I get through all of them. So this is number 10, Urban Shocker. Urban who? Urban Shocker was a pitcher for the Yankees in the 1920s. This is the 1922 American Caramel Company. This is the set of 120. I believe they made two sets in this year. One had 50 or 60, and the other had 120. This is the 120, the American Caramel Company from Lancaster and York, Pennsylvania. Those are central, southeast sections of Pennsylvania. Anyway, Urban Shocker was a pitcher for the Yankees. He started out with the Yankees, didn't do so well, got traded to St. Louis Browns, and was one of the most dominant pitchers in the 1920s as a St. Louis Brown. Came back to the Yankees, pitched for the 27 Yankees, one of the greatest teams of all time, was 18-6, but kind of faded out towards the end of the year and didn't actually pitch in the World Series, in large part because Urban Shocker was ill. He had a heart condition, which in 1928, he pitched one game for the Yankees. They released him, and by the end of the year, he had passed away. So Urban Shocker, terrible story, but terrific card, terrific career, and somebody who needs to be remembered more. That's number 10. Number 9 is, of course, the great Yankee catcher Bill Dickey. This is his 1933 rookie card, 33 Gowdy. I bought this at the National last year, so about a year ago, for a nice price. And, although it's a 1, it presents pretty well, except obviously it's got some corner rounding and some edge issues and a little bit of staining on the back. You can see there's must have been tape or something on the bottom, but overall, nice card and happy to have it. Number 8 is number 1 in the 1962 set, the Roger Maris. 1962 tops, 3.5 in the SGC holder, fair grade. I love this card for a couple of reasons. One is that I had this card as a youth. I think I had it in my teens as part of my collection back then. This is not that version. This is a newer version. And the other thing I love about this card is the back, because it's 62, which means it has the 61 stats, and you get the 61 home runs on the back here. So that's number 8. Is that 8? Yeah. Number 7 is the 1951 Burke Ross Whitey Ford. This is a rookie card, an alternative rookie card. Whitey Ford, as you know, pitched in the 1950 season, came up in the middle of the season, so 51 is his rookie. 51 Bowman is a very expensive card. 51 Burke Ross, a little bit expensive in a 4.5, but not quite as much as the Bowman would be. So nice card. This is number 7. Number 6 is Yogi Berra, 1953 Bowman, card that I love in large part because of just the way the picture was taken, the smiling, leaning up against the dugout. He's got the catcher's mask. It's a classic 53 Bowman shot. And this is, I have multiple Berra cards, but I think this one is my favorite, which is why I put it in here. Number 6. Number 5 is an interesting one. Now you would say, exhibits Elston Howard. Why would you put an exhibit of Elston Howard in your top 10 Yankee cards? Well, the reason is because of that right there, the 8. This card was purchased in a Vintage Breaks opening of an exhibits pack. The pack was from, I don't know, the 50s, I guess. It's got to be, because it's 47 to 66. Elston Howard rookie card is 55, so this is probably late 50s. Howard came out as my card in the open pack, so it's fresh from the pack, literally, and sent off to SGC where they got the 8. Now, the thing about the value of this one is that there was a PSA 8 that sold in the Love the Game auctions about, I don't know, a year ago maybe, and it was a PSA 8, and there must have been a bidding war because it went for $900. I don't think this is worth $900, but it's nice to know that it could be. Number 5, I'm sorry, that was 5. This is number 4, and this card is my only Babe Ruth card. And Babe Ruth got number 4, so there must be some good ones in 1, 2, and 3. So this is the German issue. It's a 1932 Cinella. It's type 2. The back has the variations on the back that create types 1, 2, and 3. These were sold, athletes, famous people, German, like a book. So people would buy the cards and the book and then put them in the spot in the book. And these, unfortunately, have little bits of tape or glue residue. And so this otherwise beautifully presentable Babe Ruth got a 1.5 because of that. There's also a tiny little crease in the upper corner here. So I bought this card raw from Ryan Nolan of Breakout Cards, who gave me a nice price on it. Sent it out. We expected 1 to 2, so 1.5 is exactly what it got. And so the value of this went up as it got slabbed. And so that's my only Ruth card. It's a placeholder until I can someday get one of the Gaudis. Number 3 is the 1948 Leaf Joe DiMaggio. This card I purchased at the Chantilly show, I think it was last summer. Chantilly, Virginia has a very good vintage show. It's in Northern Virginia. It's pretty close to the Dulles Airport. So I went down there, hang out with my friend Matt, went through the whole show. Matt had to go, so I was left there with some cash, and I saw this. And this card is an expensive card because it's pretty short printed, and of course it's one of the few DiMaggio playing days cards. But the price was right, and the reason the price is right is you can see there's a little bit of paper loss on the front. So no creases, pretty well centered, corners are a little rounded, but that paper loss and the back is super clean is why it's a 1, but it's also why I was able to afford it. So Joe DiMaggio, number 3. Number 2, I appeared on the Hobbypalooza for the Bowman 53 show a few weeks ago and told the story about this card. A friend of mine went to the Houston card show, I don't know, maybe about 6 months ago, and negotiated this for me, and I paid for it to be a Venmo from 2,000 miles away in New York while the card was being picked up in Houston and mailed to me. It's the 1934 Gaudi, Lou Gehrig. This is number 2 on the list. And this is a Grail card. And not only because I wanted to have a playing days Gehrig, but also because as a kid, I had a reprint set of a lot of the Gaudis, the 33 and 34 Gaudis, and this was one of my favorite cards, and it's iconic. The Gehrig smile and the 34 Lou Gehrig says at the bottom. So number 2 on the list. Number 1 on the list is a card that I won in a vintage break, set break. It's Bowman 53 color, number 59, Mickey Mantle. And a Mantle, as you can see, is classic pose with the blue sky behind him and Yankee Stadium. And this is a 4.5, which is a beautiful example of this card. And it is, right now, it's my number 1 New York Yankees card. So that's the top 10 Yankees. Let me see. Get this going here. There we go. This is the top 10. Urban Shocker as the Shocker at number 10. Dickey, Maris, Berra, Howard, Ruth. I think I switched this actually. Anyway, I think Ford got put down to 6. But anyway, Ford's there. Top 3 are the same: DiMaggio, Gehrig, and Mantle. So that's my top 10 New York Yankees. Feel free to comment on your top 10 Yankees, and we will see you back here next week.